Gemma, so some of the other videos in this series, we've looked at using food to train horses. Being straightforward, I thought that was a bad idea. Horses are just going to be in our pockets and mugging us. This seems like something we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, absolutely, I understand that. And you can see straight away with this horse, he knows I've got some food in my bum bag, so he's trying to mug me for it. So the way I normally introduce clicker training to horses is I'll stand here, and then as soon as they look away, I will then offer the food.
So you're using the clicker as an introduction to this is how you're going to get food, but you only time the click when he moves away from you, not towards you.
Absolutely. So I want him to learn to look away from me to get the food.
Right.
So that he stops trying to mug me. And so like there, and that was nice because he moved away. So initially he comes towards me and because he wants to get it, and then he realises and he looks away.
Right.
And I think, you know, as a vet, if I go out and I'm dealing with a horse that's really needle shy, I don't worry about doing this because we just have to get the horse injected. We've only got a few minutes. Whereas if I'm teaching owners to start clicker training, I always start with this exercise.
Right, that sounds really important. Dylan seems to have picked it up pretty quickly.
Yep.
Good.
Yep, he's doing pretty well there.
So when we're thinking about, as vets and we're working with horses, one of the really dangerous situations is when I'm asked to treat a horse in a pack of other horses in a field. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think when horses are in a field, it can become really dangerous for the vet, particularly if you're in a scenario whereby it's a very muddy field, or you know there's things lying around where the ground isn't quite so good, or you've got lots of young horses that are running around a lot. So I guess you've got to look at each individual situation. So sometimes you can do it in the field if the horses are calm. Sometimes just bringing that one horse out and put it on the other side of the fence can be a really good way of doing it. And then otherwise, I think if you do have to bring a horse up to the stables and, oh, there we go, we're mugging again. So I'm just going to stand out the way until he looks away. One of the key things is maybe bring him up, you know, a few weeks before, several times, and just do a little bit of this training with him. Because then it means that the horse can come in and have a positive experience, come into the stable, and they'll be confident about leaving their friends.
So you think this is better than just giving the horse a bucket of food to encourage him to leave his friends?
Yeah, I think a bucket of food's fine, and it certainly still makes it a positive experience for them. But this actually becomes a game for him. You know, he can make me click just by looking away for the food, and therefore he becomes more engaged in it. And that way it's a more positive experience than just coming in and eating the food, but worrying about the friends. I
really like your message about getting the horse accustomed to coming out of the field away from its friends before the time when you really need to, when the vet comes. So this is a really useful technique, I think, for making horses accustomed to being separated, really, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. I think it's really helpful for them because they get much more calm about it. And, you know, as time goes on, I'm starting to ask a little bit more and a little bit more of him so that he actually does look away a little bit further and holds his head away for a little bit longer.
So what's the take-home messages with clicker training?
So I think from this point of view, the take-home message is that the food goes to the horse and the horse doesn't come to the food. Now, the next stage, which I'm probably winging it a little bit to get in there today, but is that way you can actually have some food in your hand and you just keep it just out of reach for the horse, and as soon as the horse goes to back off and look a little bit away from your hand, you then deliver it.
And so you could actually almost train him to not mug you even though you're using food.
Yep, exactly. And at the minute he's got really big lips. He's quite gentle on my hand, but you can see he's using those lips quite a bit. But actually, if you did this, you know, for 5 minutes, a couple of times a week, you get to the stage where you lifted your hand up, and even there that was quite good because he went to take the food and then pulled back a little bit. But you will be at a stage whereby you can lift your hand up with food and they wait and stay away from you.
Okay, well I hope this has been a useful video looking at this technique of clicker training. Thanks very much, Gemma.
No problems, thank you.